A fellow sinistrist, the Luciferian outlaw, asked this question, and I'm paraphrasing. How can the left-hand path help one to cope with anxiety? Me, personally, I know the path. The path has helped me, no question about it. It's allowed me to reach a certain degree of calm in my soul, a form of left-hand path enlightenment. Now, what is left-hand path enlightenment, or sinister illumination, if you will? When we hear the word enlightenment, we generally think of right-hand path new age bullshit artists who speak in riddles that no one can understand, leaving one confused. They do this on purpose. It's like the carrot on the stick. Illumination or enlightenment is always just out of reach. But what is it from a pragmatic perspective? To understand sinister illumination, you have to break it down, and we start with the psyche. The psyche, or the soul, if you will, encompasses the whole of the human mind, conscious and unconscious. All we know, all we see, feel, smell, etc. We do so with the mind. And what is it? It's the occupant of the brain, and it's one with our consciousness. But consciousness is not an easy concept to define. Some say it's having a sense of self, being awake and aware of what's happening around us. And in the brain, there are 3 different levels of consciousness. There's the reptilian, there's the mammal, and located in the frontal lobe, the human, the part that allows us awareness of time, the future, tomorrow. Before the advent of psychology, one of the best tools in understanding the psyche and consciousness was mythology. But most today either ignore this tool, either referring to myths as just stories, or they use faith to make the mythological gods and monsters real. Some may get a degree of fulfillment from faith, but they've missed the point. If myth is the song of the psyche that gives voice and substance to the archetypes, then faith is unnecessary. And we, on the left-hand path, by calling ourselves Satanists or Luciferians, we daily partake in the experience of the mythological, whether we realize it or not. But there's more than Satan and Lucifer waiting for us on the path. There are endless dark gods and monsters, angels and demons to choose from. It may seem oxymoronic, but an understanding of the darkest parts of the psyche and what lies therein leads to a better understanding of sinister illumination. Why do so many of us find comfort in the dark? Why does the nightmarish aesthetic soothe the soul? What is it about gloomy weather, horror in literature, film, and music? Think about it. How many of you on the path like wearing bright colors? Probably not many. Most lean toward black. So why do we tend to gravitate toward the shadowy side of life? Why? Because it creates space. Literally or psychologically, space is created between us and the rest of the world, thus allowing we, the nyctophiliacs, to be alone with our favorite person, ourselves. I've found being alone helps with anxiety because I find the flock, the herd, to be maddening. But just because we find calmness in the darkness, it doesn't mean we're sad or depressed or obsessed with death. Quite the opposite. I love life, and I'm no nihilist. And if you want to reach sinister illumination, you have to be able to face the realities of the dark absolute of our psyches, that place where the demons dwell. You will succumb to anxiety if you ignore your demons. That's a fact. Carl Jung believed that an encounter with the demons represents an archetypal stage in the process of individuation or illumination. To achieve sinister illumination, you have to face your demons, these manifestations created in the personal unconscious, personifications of the dark side of the inner self, expressions of the disembodied consciousness of basic psychic tendencies. Though personal, these demons may share attributes with archetypes in the collective unconscious, thus seeming familiar to all. And the ultimate goal for the left-hand path practitioner is to cultivate an unwavering recognition of the nature of these wrathful deities or demons, to bring about a liberating transformation of character, thus a rebirth of personality, proving that our demons can be beneficial. And this is what separates us from the right-hand path. On the left-hand path, we utilize the demonic when it leads to personal exaltation, while on the right-hand path, all demons are shunned. This makes the left-hand path the healthier of the two paths. Because, mark my words, an individual that fails to integrate their demons will eventually be destroyed by them. Self-liberation comes by recognizing what these beings are. But it's difficult for most because fear causes the mind to flee rather than to examine, thus not allowing one to progress or transcend. Utilizing your demons for the goal of transcendence should be the objective of all upon the path. How do we do this? By simply getting to know our demons, because if we don't, we'll become possessed by them. Think about it. Because of fear and anxiety, you have the potential for committing horrible acts, don't you? You can feel it. And if you continue to ignore or fear your demonic side, the potential grows and festers. But we on the left-hand path, we're already in the process of coming to terms with our demons. This is because we already dwell in the darker realms of existence. But this philosophy of facing the demons and the horrors of reality is nothing new. Agora, a sect of Hinduism, the darkest of all left-hand path practices, teaches that one should accept all aspects of existence, no matter how horrible or disgusting. That by diving into the dark absolute, one will eventually come out into the light, into sinister illumination. In conclusion, anxiety can be defeated by obtaining sinister illumination, which is coming to terms with the horrors of reality to reach a calmness in your soul. It's very similar to that calm acceptance only those who are terminally ill seem to achieve when they've reached that final stage. It's a shame that most will only experience this in those days right before they die. But on the left-hand path, by facing your demons, facing the horrors, you can have this calm in your soul now.